What's up, everyone? Marc Lobliner, tigerfitness.com. Let's talk about Patrick Mahomes' Dad-Bod. Now, I've done a similar video like this years ago when Tom Brady was shown on the beach and he had what many would consider to be a Dad-Bod. It's not what you'd expect from the two of the greatest quarterbacks of all time in the NFL, but it's, for me, I think it's what I'd expect to see in an elite athlete. Now, before I go any further on that, MTS Nutrition Immortal, the greatest multivitamin pack ever created at tigerfitness.com. Here's how it looks: $1 a day, all this stuff in it, the highest quality. Get it now. Everybody needs it. It applies to all y'all. All of y'all could use Immortal. It can help everybody here. Anyway, back to the point. There are different types of training. For example, at Legacy at Carbon, we train athletes, generally speaking, from anywhere from 6 years old up till whenever, right? But a lot of our athletes are teenagers. They're between the ages of 15 and 18 or 19 years old, and they're playing either as underclassmen or upperclassmen in high school, or they're getting ready for and or playing in college at D1 through D2, D3, NAIA levels. So when we train athletes, we do not give one drop of monkey piss about how their abs are, about if they have cap delts, about if they have little shaped pecs. We don't care. When recruiters come and talk to us about our athletes, they don't ask us how they look on Instagram. They don't ask us, they don't ask us any of those metrics. They don't ask us if they have a chiseled back. They don't ask if they have bulging biceps. We had a kid go and visit a Power 5 D1 school the other day, and the first time he visited them, they were like, "How much do you weigh?" And like, it's not enough. So we've been working with this kid. We got him. He's up 50 pounds. 50 pounds since the end of football season. Crazy. These kids got everything going for them. Work ethic, good family, good food, and some of them have genetics. And when they come in, they get it done. Goes back, has a visit, and so the recruiter and the coach were like, "Hey, how much do you weigh now?" He tells them the weight. They're like, "Oh, hell yeah." They didn't say, "Hey, bro, can you flash us your abs? Hey, bro, can you hit us with a double by?" No, they don't. When I have athletes, they might actually gain a little body fat. But we had an athlete last year, and people call me for this, but literally I put the dads like online, be like, "This is fake." And then I'm like, here's the dad's testimonial. We had a kid who, he came in running a 5.3. Okay, we got him down to a 4.6. In that time, his 40-yard dash went down to a 4.6. 5.3 to 4.6. This is in under 10 weeks. How does that happen? Well, there's a lot of reasons. One is a lot of kids don't know how to generate force. You got to teach them how to generate force. Another is running form. Like, you got to know how to run correctly, your start, all that stuff, your absolute speed, your buildup. So people look at that's impossible. That guy's enhanced. No, he's just an athlete who works really, really hard. So when I look at Mahomes, I look at someone who has an athletic body. It's not a bodybuilder's body. It's not what I could go on stage with. But Mahomes isn't being judged for how he looks. For doing that, then David Boston would have been the greatest player in the NFL of all time. Like, that dude was jacked. If you look him up, look up Google images on that guy. Holy crap. He was a bodybuilder. He was literally a bodybuilder playing football. And I believe he trained with Poliquin, if I'm not mistaken. So he was on a high protein, lower carb diet through Charles Poliquin, if I'm not mistaken. And I'm looking at everything around, and I see people like, "How are you going to get dusted by this guy?" Have you seen Quarterback, the Netflix show? Patrick Mahomes trains harder and with more intent than probably everybody in the NFL except for people we coach, right? Which is few and far between. We love coaching our kids. We love getting them to that next level. We love producing D1 athletes. We love I like producing any athlete. I like kids and young adults, and I want them to maximize their genetic potential and live out their dreams and their goals at Legacy at Carbon. But I'm not worried. Like, we don't do an ab check at Legacy. We don't do a quad check. We don't have them, do a front lat spread. We don't have them do any of that. It doesn't matter. When you look at performance metrics, you look at speed, you look at agility, you look at the shuttle, they look at bench press, right? They obviously look at size, they look at height, which obviously I didn't do well in. They look at weight. So when they look at these metrics, not one of those metrics to measure great athletes, not one of those measurements is about aesthetics. Not one of those measurements is about how good you look at the beach. You look at baseball pitchers who were overweight, with Fernando Valenzuela back in the day, John Crook in the major leagues. You look at the great athletes. Look at Babe Ruth. Obviously, baseball is a little bit different, but then you had Shaq. You know, he was a little bit overweight, but I'm talking about that's overweight. Like, they were still banging, right? They're just athletes. They're strong. They're big, right? They're able to produce force from their hips through their upper body to throw a pitch or to hit a baseball. But then you look at the NFL. I guarantee you take the best NFL players, line them up with their shirts off, more are going to look like Patrick Mahomes than look like David Boston. It just is what it is, dude. Not everybody's going to have shredded quads like Saquon Barkley. It's just about performance. There's different styles of training. So I wanted to explain that as well, and that's why we do these videos. And when I'm going with an athlete, now, I don't do it like this. I undulate my periodization. But for example, Exos, who produces many, many, many first-round picks in the NFL, that's where I have a lot of my mentorship. I'm the highest one you could be, Exos Phase 3. Not to brag. My daughter's actually Phase 1. She was the youngest to do it at 14 years old. She stayed a week in California, got it done. So when Exos does things, when they periodize, if they have 8 weeks with an athlete, generally it will be split into 3 phases. The hypertrophy phase, the strength phase, and the power phase. Hypertrophy is necessary because the bigger the muscle, the more ability to apply force. That's just how it is. So if someone has a bigger muscle, there's more fibers to recruit to generate that force. So hypertrophy is in there. Strength, you can think about strength as powerlifting. Powerlifting is actually a misnomer. Powerlifting is more strength lifting, whereas Olympic lifts would be more power because you're generating speed and force, okay? Powerlifting, you're just powering things up with strength. The power phase, when you blend it all together and you combine strength movements with speed, acceleration, and violence, I would say something like a power shrug would be an example of that. So that's how they do it. The way we do it at Legacy is we basically put all phases in one, but we will have blocks. For example, we'll do a 5-3-1 block. You know, we'll do conjugate, but we'll also throw in some hypertrophy. So we believe that you can't undulate those periods within 1 day, 1 week, or 1 month. So while periodization generally refers to weekly, monthly, or yearly, undulation, the theory, and we've proven it time and time again, is you can do it all. You can do it all. You really can. I can get you bigger, stronger, and faster. And that right there, bigger, hypertrophy, stronger, right, strength, and faster, power. Speed is power. Speed is the ability to exert force against the ground to propel you forward. That's why when you look at how to increase your 40-yard dash team, yard dash time, any coach or trainer worth his weight in poop will tell you that the hex bar deadlift is scientifically proven to help you get faster in the 40 more than any other exercise. Pretty simple, because you're generating force. You're producing force against the ground. If you guys have a day, I could literally talk about this for a day because this is what I'm interested in, but you don't. So we're going to cut it right there. At the end of the day, Patrick Mahomes is the GOAT. Right now, he's on his way to be better than Tom Brady. You can say what you want or you will, but how do you measure greatness? I measure it in efficiency, in leadership, and in championship rings. I don't measure it in MVP titles. I measure it in any of that stuff. I measure it in winning the championship, because at the end of the day, the goal of the football player, the main goal, is to win a Super Bowl championship. And Mahomes is on his way to do that. Do I think the Chiefs will be a dynasty like the Patriots? No. I just don't think they have that infrastructure, and I don't think Andy Reid's going to be able to go as long as Belichick. And other than the Cowboys back in the 90s, I believe that when you do change coaching and strategies, that you're just not going to have that winning edge that you did with the coach who brought you there. Andy Reid's a genius. I just worry the fact that he's morbidly obese, that he's not going to be on this earth as long as Belichick. Belichick's 71 years old, and he can still get out there and coach. He's still walking around, still. I mean, he took a shirtless pic. He had a shirtless. He looked all right. Like, he's still doing his thing. Andy Reid, I just don't think will live long enough for Mahomes to realize that. And I hope I'm wrong. But if you look at the statistics, his weight, his stress levels, like he doesn't have that much longer on this earth. And I hope I'm wrong. But I hope Andy Reid lives till 100 years old and he coaches every day of that 65 to 100 or 64. And I want him to win all the championships with Mahomes because I love greatness, and Mahomes is great. So if you look at what I'm saying, I'm right. All right, it is what it is. Mahomes is a great athlete. You don't need a six-pack to be a great quarterback. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. Be sure to like this video, subscribe to this channel, go to tigerfitness.com, buy your Immortal and other good stuff like Outright Bars. We got other brands like Axe and Sledge and Caged. And really look forward to seeing you here next video. Thanks for watching. I'm Marc Lobliner. That's not a game. You've got to hear this. This is crazy. Ambrosia Planta is now available over 1,200 doors nationwide.
Wait, is that the one that I use every day? Yes. The mix is the best, tastes the best, and has the best amino acid profile?
Yes, from something that was direct, that people just wanted so bad. We grew into Vitamin Shoppe, then into Hy-Vee, and now into every single Sprouts across the nation. Look at that, right at eye level, Madagascar vanilla, melted chocolate, and cinnamon roll. Cammy, which flavor would you like?
I would take the chocolate, please.
I knew you would. Enjoy, available now at all Sprouts nationwide.